is doing all his best to keep the company alive. The hard work and the perseverance to keep doing, keep trying. When you take a decision, you have to do your best. Give a good example in business. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I fail, but I'm always trying. My name is Giacomo Pedranzini. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm leading for already 28 years, Kometa 99. It is a meat processing company located in Kaposvar. With the word business, of course, it comes to my mind something related with different type of economic activities. With this, but I would say, in general, it's a positive word relating with the activity that each of us has to do it in order to have enough resources to live, let's say in this way. Concerning the word hero, it's not so easy to define, because I think this is a really powerful word full of meaning. To me, this word is, first of all, is calling to my mind these examples of people who really went through huge sacrifice or did extreme acts of sacrifice for some reasons. And I would say that is something really powerful and really positive. If I connect to my explanation of what does it mean to be an hero, that I connect really to something that requires strong sacrifice, strong dedication, I could describe people on totally different situations. An hero, it's also a simple worker who is working day by day to support his family, perhaps in difficult situation, even for salaries who are not the best, but in order to sustain the family, is doing day by day. Or mothers with children at home, with heavy families to be anyhow managed, that at the same time they are able to fulfill their obligation in a workplace. And of course, in some case, it's also possible to associate this word of hero with very big leaders in the economic activity. In this moment, if I have to tell the truth, it does not come one name to my mind, but if I should explain instead of giving a name, I can use this example. If we look at a higher level of business, so to the entrepreneurs, for me, for example, an hero, if is an entrepreneur that in very difficult situation is doing all his best to keep the company alive, to pay salaries before buying big cars, for example, and guaranteeing that the economic organization is leading, is really contributing in a positive way to the development of society. Let me start really from my childhood, because there is something interesting about my life. That first of all, I was grown in a family, in a farmer's family. We were 9 brothers, and our childhood, it was a very active childhood, helping the parents in our farm. So I was not really in favor of going too long to the school. I was more for starting to work in the farm or to do something more operative. Then, of course, my parents forced me to attend the secondary school. I'm a bookkeeper. And then I decided that I will stop my studies, I will attend my military service, and then I will see what to do. So I never planned to attend university, but something is strange. I could never explain that. I was never planning to go to the university, but I had always in mind that in case I should go, it is only this about economic topics. And so at the end, after the military service, I ended to attend the university and in Milano, and I got my degree in economics. And I started to work as a consultant, as a business consultant. The specific profession in Italy is dottore commercialista. So I spent 3-4 years in this profession, but I felt it was not really in line with my nature. Most probably being grown in a farmer's family, I needed something more dynamic, something more related to the real business. And so at a certain point, I decided that I have to take a different step. There was this opportunity to invest to Hungary. So in 94, I decided to give up with this consulting activity and to join with other partners, starting to run an industrial activity here in Hungary. Yeah, encounters quite because let's say in Italian we say that I made the step mostly far too long. Then of course I had to face really quite a lot of obstacle. I had to learn what does it mean to run a company. I had to get mature as an entrepreneur. So I really had to go through a lot of obstacles, and the only way, or what helped me to go over this obstacle, it was the hard work and the perseverance to keep doing, keep trying, and step by step I managed to learn and to go on. Unfortunately, I did not find a mentor, I would say, in this way. So I started to run a business, and I became perhaps a leader of a business perhaps too early, not being prepared. And that's the reason why then I had to go through many difficulties. Unfortunately, I did not find a mentor. Luckily, I had always the example of my parents that were always being a good example in terms of being perseverant and working always hard and never getting discouraged of the failure. And the other experience that was helping me, that I would recommend also to other people who had to go through difficult times, because I could not sleep too much during the night because of the many thoughts and concern I had, I start to read. So I found quite different books that they were really helpful to me. I would mention three titles because I think they are useful also for other people who likes reading. One is the Greatest Salesman in the World by Mandino. Another is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And the third one I would mention is Think and Grow Rich of Napoleon Hill. The lesson I learned is very simple, that you have to persevere. When you take a decision, you have to do your best and persevere. And the lesson towards the society, I think that if you are acting in a good faith, trying to do your best, even if you fail, you will always have your inside strength to go through the difficulties. So to do something good for society, I think, is the best source of strength to overcome difficulties. Difficult to mention someone, and believe me, I was really also thinking a bit about this, but I have two principles I follow. First of all, that for a so important nomination, I want to consider really carefully, and also I wouldn't like to do it publicly. Not at all. Not at all, because if I connect to the explanation of the word hero to my mind, I do not feel that I have to go through this really proving experience who are defining an hero, but not to appear like someone who wants to be humble, or I'm trying to do my best to be a good example. So I can consider myself as someone who is trying to give a good example in business. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I fail, but I'm always trying.